Hey everyone, this is Gary with another episode of Duck Cove Signs. Today, we're doing yet another video that is kind of off the wall. I like doing off the wall projects. Hopefully you do too. Don't think of yourself as just a sign painter. We're artists and we're creators. And we can walk into any situation and find a way to enhance it or beautify it. That's really what we do. We take something that people can't quite figure out what to do, and we enhance that and develop it and turn it into something of beauty for everyone to enjoy. Now, I went to Maine to help a friend of mine with a house that he was rebuilding up there. And they had this huge foyer, 20-foot ceiling in this foyer. And the stairway had the potential to be gorgeous. But at this particular time, this house was built in 1870. Although the stairway was very solid, it was a mess. So he asked me what he thought that I could do with it. So I was helping him with other projects around. I did the walls, the ceilings. I mean, I did a lot of work there. It came to me what I could do to enhance the stairway. And that is what I'm going to show you today. Some of it was broken. There was a little finial on top of the post at the bottom of the stairs that was broken. And he didn't know if he needed to throw it away or what was going to happen. So this is what I did with it. And rather than talk about it, let's go to the video. So here we have the post that's in the stairs, and there's pieces that are loose. The top itself is loose. The little finial at the top is broken. So they asked me if I could do something with it. Well, as I was working around on different projects, I figured I could carve that off. And here I'm just showing you how I actually smoothed that up with sandpaper. I'm holding the camera in that at the same time, so and it left a little ridge around it. So I just filed that off, and then the reason I picked this design is there are little buttons like on the underneath this finial on the post. You can see them there, and I thought if I could match that, it would make sense. And when you come down the stairs and grab that, it really feels good. I left that raw, just like that, because the oil from your hand will actually bring that back to a nice patina. And I did sand the brown off the very top of it. Here you're looking at what the stairway looked like. The treads were a mess. And I drew this design on here, hoping that they would like it. And I painted that chocolate brown. They decided to give it a try, but they weren't really sure if they wanted to do it. And then I painted a brown pinstripe in this little groove in the wood here. And that goes all the way up around the banister. You'll see that later. So there it is, painted chocolate brown. And I have two stair treads painted chocolate brown at this point. All I did was the tips. And they decided that they liked it. So I made a cardboard cutout of that design, and I could just rest it against each step and trace it. Now, if you remember, that's what the stairway looked like before I started. And then here are all the little template drawings. And they don't have to be exactly the same because I'm going to paint them. They'll be closer when I paint them than when I drew them on there. And the toughest spot is coming up. This is a real mess, this tread around here. But it's hard to get in there to paint. And here we go with them painted. I'll be working up the stairs here in just a second. That radiator was a mess. I ended up cleaning that up and painting that up later. But you can see how that's changed dramatically how that staircase looks. And over in the, if you look up in the upper right hand corner, you'll see it looks like I painted a brown stripe around the room. That's actually a gap between the molding and the ceiling, which gave me the idea for this brown stripe, because that looks brown because of the influence of the brown I used in the room. Now I did the floor harvest gold and painted all the white, and then I did the tips of each stair tread with a brown so that when you're walking down at night you can see each step clearly. I thought that was really important because there's a lot of stairs here. And what was amazing is it actually became the focal point for the whole house. This house, it is absolutely beautiful. And the real estate agents, because this house is for sale, the real estate agent used these pictures in all their ads because it is such a focal point for the entire house. You know, as sign painters and artists, we must remember that there are over 300 million people in America who have two things in common: wants and needs. And if we can figure out how to fill one of those, let alone two, our lives will change forever, just by what we can do as a community. So if you really want to leave a mark on this world, make it a beautiful mark, and people will remember you forever. This is Gary, the Renegade Dream Builder, and I'll see you on the next episode. It's fly around here. I'll see you on the next episode. Damn. And I'll see you on the next episode of Duck Cove Signs. There was a woman walking down the street one day by this big wooden fence, and she could hear people hollering. Well, she happened to look over, and on the second floor of this hospital, all the patients were hanging out the window, and they were all hollering, 13, 13, 13. And she thought, what is going on? Because she couldn't see anything because of the fence. As she was walking, she was getting more and more curious, and all of a sudden, she saw a hole in the fence. Well, she hurried to get up there, and when she went to look through the fence, all of a sudden, she got poked in the eye. And she stepped back, and she was staggering around a little bit. And she went, oh my God. And as she collected herself up, and she started to walk off, she heard all the patients in the hospital going, 14, 14, 14. Oh. So I thought I'd leave the video with a little humor on the back end and something you could tell your clients. And I hope you're having a fantastic day. And I will see you next time on Jokes from Duck Cove Signs.